Broadcasting live from the ILTV studios located here at University Drive. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm also a member of the local Catholic Christian community. I must confess, however, that the first day, which was yesterday, I did not attend church. So that is interesting. But nevertheless, I welcome each and every one of you. Today is Monday, the 30th of September, 2024. It is a wonderful day that the Lord has made. It is a glorious day. Lots of sunshine. The weather's been very hot, but 178 miles away from us in the United States of America, they have had some major issue with tropical storms, massive devastation, many citizens having been killed, massive flood, but it is a very first world society. So they have done a wonderful job in terms of providing rescue, and of course the federal government is organizing to provide the necessary social assistance to each and every American citizen and whoever else find themselves in the United States of America. So it is a warning to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas that we should be ready, because we are still in the midst of the hurricane season. And notwithstanding that we have been called upon to pray to God to spare us, we still must be prepared. So I thought I would tell you that in the aftermath, that around 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, the Royal Bahamas Police Force was alerted to gunshot. And of course, when they went into a particular community, they discovered that a Negro man had been found in an upstairs unfinished building. And there they found him dead, the victim of many gunshots. So it is sad as family and friends mourn for him, and as the statistic expands, he now becomes the 89th murdered victim. So it's a sad thing. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the United States of America. God save the King. It's a wonderful day. I'll be right back in a moment. Hold on, everybody. God is in charge of the universe. Back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Well, on Saturday morning around 7 a.m., police were alerted to a series of gunshots which occurred in one of our southeastern communities. When police arrived at the spot, they went to an unfinished upstairs building where they found a Negro male with multiple gunshot wounds, and of course EMS personnel. They showed up, and of course they determined that that Negro gentleman was dead, and of course I'm advised that he became the 89th murdered victim for 2024. So that is still a very sad situation. So I thought I'll start it off by telling you that the murders are still continuing, and it is our hope and prayer that somehow we will be able to suppress the level of violence and gangsterism taking place in our society. Well, I'm certain that my spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, he is here. Bradley, how are you?
I'm as good as can be, Sandra. Well, fairly rough weekend, you know. So many things to deal with. Right now I have a splitting headache. I believe my blood pressure may be up. There's so many issues going on. Life is just something else, Sandra. It's just something else. One day you wake up and you want to face this life and the trials and the temptation and the stress that it brings. You want to face it. You try your best to. And then you go back to sleep and you try to rest, and then when you get up, it's a different stress.
Well, I'm going to recommend to you Dr. King Jesus.
Absolutely.
I'm going to recommend Dr. King Jesus, spiritual healing, and find yourself a doctor to determine why your pressure is high and whether or not you need medication, because there are many citizens who are having the stroke.
I'm on medication.
This is powerful.
I'm on netafine.
Netafine.
Yeah, I may have to change it from 30 to 60. I was doing 30 milligram, but the thing is I know what I have to do. I really need to work on this. I have to manage my stress level. There's a lot going on in my family. I have to lose some weight, as everyone can see, and exercise.
Okay.
But stress, I think stress is
your problem.
Yeah, stress is a killer.
Coming from family, a lack of exercise, and you're putting on too much weight.
Yeah, I got to watch my eating habits.
Okay.
You know. But, Santa, life, I'm saying this to encourage those who are listening to us today. Life is something else. I think one actor in a movie compared life to a box of chocolates, that you can open the box of chocolates, but you don't know what you're going to get when you open it. And that's just the way life is, just something else. You have to be strong, you know, to deal with the problems that you face with every day you get up. You need Jesus. You need the mind of the Holy Spirit to face, you know, the challenges that you find yourself facing every day. And if you don't have the outlet, and look at how you're just so wonderfully in place to tell me about King Jesus, you give me an outlet. Although I know that outlet, but it's encouraging to hear it from you. Because there are some who don't have that outlet, and they commit suicide. Now you see why suicide is on the rise, Sandra. The problems in this life can drive you to suicide.
Really?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But I thank you for giving me that wonderful advice. King Jesus.
Amen.
The doctor of all doctors. All right, we got to read today. Mr. Producer, where am I? Ephesians chapter 6. I'm feeding this to somebody today. I'm feeding it to somebody today. Pay close attention to this. This is a very, very powerful scripture. I never recognized how powerful that scripture was until today. I really recognize how powerful the scripture is. I'm sending this to somebody. I'm sending it to somebody today. Here's what the scripture says. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise. Understand how powerful that is. Honor thy father and thy mother, which is the first commandment with a promise. And what's the promise? That it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. It is a powerful scripture. This command to honor your father and mother comes with a promise. It comes with a promise that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. I'm saying this to somebody today. And God, I pray that this person is tuning into Freedom March, and they're watching us, they're listening to us, and this scripture that I've read into their hearing may prick their conscience. Honor your father and your mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, with a promise, with a promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. Thank you so much, producer. Back to you, Sandra.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor.
Indeed, indeed.
Well, consumers here in the Bahamas, it is very important that they watch an industrial development which is threatening to take place in the United States of America, where there are approximately 45,000 American wharf workers, people who work in the container port department of the United States, where they are threatening that unless they get better working conditions, they will go on strike, perhaps starting today, perhaps starting tomorrow. 45,000. I'm advised that the President of the United States of America, Mr. Joe Biden, has the legal authority to intervene and stop the strike, but I'm advised that he has already announced that the federal government will not interfere with the strike, taking into consideration that unions do have a right to negotiate for better economic and other working conditions. And of course, you know, this is the year where there is a major presidential election, and politically it would look very bad for the Democrats if the president, using executive authority, were to interfere and suppress the righteous indignation of the American workers in their protests for better working conditions and more money. So if they do strike, it shall have a serious impact, not only on the world, but let us make it more specific. It will have a major impact on the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It means food and other products that are traditionally imported from the United States into the Commonwealth of the Bahamas could very well be interfered with, and therefore you could see food and essential items not coming into the Bahamas. And what do you think the greedy merchants will do? They will immediately move the prices up. And then, of course, the poor will be affected by it. So it is something that you must watch because that is the major threat taking place in the world. And it is amazing that when we now talk about the world, we mean the United States of America. So America has emerged as the world. So it is something that you should be watching. It is something that you should be studying. And depending on what happens, you may have to make a rush to the food store to purchase the basic essential. And you can imagine if that catastrophe had to break out here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the poor could suffer some more. So I thought that I would share that to you, and I would hope and pray that you would monitor this industrial development taking place in the United States of America. My spiritual advisor, have you been watching it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw some posting coming across the mainstream media in America.
Yes.
Well, let's hope and pray that it doesn't happen and they could come to an amicable agreement that would satisfy the workers. We're hoping and praying. Because, you know, if that happens on the East Coast, we have a problem. We have a problem, so
Yeah.
let's hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, that is one of the danger when a nation fails to develop agriculture. That is a major problem. And we've had this issue from independence. You would recall that I would have told you that in 1973, when the Bahamas became independent, among the gifts that we received from the United States was a major financial assistance. It happened so many years ago, I do not remember, if I can remember precisely how much money the United States government would have donated to the Bahamas, but I think it might have been either $40 million or $400 million into agriculture. A lot of it had been used in Andres, and a lot of it had to do with the planting of crops and the growing, raising of livestock. Well, I talk about agriculture and the need to develop it in view of the fact that this major threat is taking place in the United States that will affect the importation of food into the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And we have to take into consideration that the United States has been plagued by major storms, which means American citizens will have to be given the priority. After all, the food is produced in the United States, and their citizens will have to take first priority. You might have heard the rumor that Prophet Bishop Lawrence Roll, you are aware that he has a food ministry which is taking place, or which takes place at his church on 2nd Street, The Grove. And some days he feeds between 500 and 1,000 persons per day. That is phenomenal, that ministry, that feeding ministry. And there are many times that we do ignore the role that many organizations play in our society in terms of that kind of contribution to the poor. And we all know as Christians that Jesus teaches us that the poor shall always be with us. Well, I'm certain you would have heard that somebody, perhaps someone living in the United States, has been successful in hacking and capturing the WhatsApp phone of Bishop Lawrence Roll. And the next thing he has discovered, that having been done, he began to receive intelligence out of the United States by hundreds of people who loves, support him and his ministry, telling him of the wicked scheme that his WhatsApp has been used for. Well, notwithstanding that that has had a significant impact on his feeding ministry, because after all, a lot of his phone contacts have been captured and he lacks the ability to get them back. Well, a Bahamian businessman by the name of Gregory Stewart, who happens to be a very interesting entrepreneur who hails from Eleuthera. And Mr. Stewart is involved in a lot of business. He's involved in the shipping business. He's involved in landscaping. He's involved in farming. And so he extended an invitation to my government office. I found it very interesting that he wanted to establish a contact with Bishop Lawrence Roll in view of the fact that he had heard about the impact against his ministry and his feeding ministry. And so he then, using my office, extended an invitation to Bishop Lawrence Roll to visit his farm, his landscaping development, and his animal husbandry, which is located on Gladstone Road. So early this morning, we went to the farm to see it. I'll show you the video later on in the week, but I do have some photograph where we saw some major development in livestock, and particularly in the raising of pigs. Do we have any photographs? Okay, so when we come back after the break, we'll be able to look at it. We'll be able to look at some of the pigs that Mr. Stewart will donate to the feeding ministry. And let me tell you, some of them pig they're fat, they're rosy, and they look delicious. So when we come back, we'll talk about a businessman who's committed to assisting the food ministry of Bishop Lawrence Roll. God save feeding ministries throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'll be right back after the break. Hold on, everybody. It's powerful. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Rule is my spiritual advisor. And of course, this is the time when we pay bills. Bradley, if it pleases you.
Absolutely. Looking for a quick getaway? Fly Western Air with daily flights from Freeport to Fort Lauderdale, starting at just $290 round trip, including 40 pounds of checked bags. Book your next adventure now at westernAirBahamas.com. Everybody needs money always, so send money internationally and locally through Western Union with MoneyMax. Download the MoneyMax app today to send cash instantly to a family member or friend anytime and anywhere. Sending money has never been simpler. The app is available on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. MoneyMax, live your max life.
This is powerful. I thank you, my spiritual advisor.
Indeed.
When we took the adjournment, I was giving you a story of a major industrial dispute taking place in the United States of America, in which 45,000 union workers, people who work near their container port, are threatening to go on strike if they cannot get better working condition, perhaps more money. And I also pointed out to you that I have been advised that the President of the United States of America has the authority to intervene and perhaps stop the strike. But we know that this is a period where there is a major presidential election taking place, and politically, President Biden would have to be careful as to how he deals, if I may use a more gentler word, with the trade union movement. And I also pointed out that it's a major threat to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas because we import everything practically to the Bahamas. And one of our major failures, perhaps since independence, has been the inability of every successive government to develop agriculture. And we have seen an example being that when Perry Gladstone Christie returned to Pinling and the PLP, perhaps around 1990 or thereafterward, Pinling named him as Minister of Agriculture. Perhaps Christie was the most politically astute politician to become Minister of Agriculture, but agriculture did fail. And if I was to bring up old talk, you would recall that a period when Christie was Minister of Agriculture, there was a major scandal that broke out because the cows, they were starved. I don't know if it was accidentally or deliberately, but many of you were either unborn or little children when all the cows in Andres were suffering from malnutrition. And then we've seen in modern times, under the Hubert Alexander Minnis administration, Michael Pintard, who has emerged as the leader of the opposition, he was given a very significant political test. He may not be aware of it, that when Minnis made him Minister of Agriculture, it was a test to see his political gift to get agriculture working, but Michael did not. So agriculture failed. So there's this looming threat from the United States. And then I give you the story about Bishop Lawrence Roll and how a businessman by the name of Gregory Stewart, who hails from Eleuthera, he decided that he would use my government office to make a major donation to Bishop Lawrence Roll's ministry. So we went on the tour of his development on Gladstone Road. where we were introduced to a major livestock business that he is running there in the production of pork. And these are some of the biggest pigs that I've seen in many, many years. And so the bishop was taken on a tour so that we can see some of these pigs. And the farm is committed to donating about 240 pounds of fresh pork to the church. And the plan is that not only will they donate that, they're going to donate so many dozens of organic eggs. This is chicken eggs to the church ministry. And it was just phenomenal. The bishop was excited to see some of these pigs. And I questioned the bishop, Bishop, how are you going to cook some of these pigs? How are you going to season it? And the bishop was happy when I put that question to him. You're looking at a pear that is grown on that farm that is being held by the bishop. In fact, the bishop was, as we were driving by, the bishop saw it, and Mr. Stewart said to Bishop, Bishop, let's stop. Do you think you can climb that tree and pick one or two pears? Well, when the bishops jumped off the cart, him and the pear tree was about the same height. So there it is. He picked two giant pears and gave me one. So it's big pear. And we then continued to travel through this farm, perhaps for about 2.5 hours. But I think Greg Stewart is to be thanked that he is willing to assist in Bishop Lawrence Rule's ministry and to donate all of that pig meat. And so I asked Bishop how he's going to cook it. It was then that before he departed, he asked Mr. Greg Stewart if he can have like a croaker sack full of lemon leaf, lime leaf, because Bishop hails from Cat Island, and a part of the spices that he used when he's cooking pork, cooking pig meat, is perhaps he either boil it in lime leaf or maybe sauce it down in it. And so perhaps starting Monday, he will be picking up, or it will be delivered, over 240 pounds of succulent pig meat. So it's great. And so many dozens of organic eggs. So I thank God that through the government's ministry that I work at, this major initiative is taking place. So it was great. If you put the camera closer, you will see my pear. This is a big pear. And I liked, there was an employee on the farm who speak Haitian Creole. And so when he saw me with this, he asked me if I knew what it was. So I said, Zabuka. And he was shocked. He said, how did you know this was Zabuka? I said, let me take off my shades. And when I took off my shades, he was shocked, because in his presence was one of the secret leader of the Haitian people. Tout le monde haïtien! Comment yé? And then, having discovered that, we were led to a deep freeze on that farm, and lo and behold, they took out this bottle, and they're now reproducing organic cane juices. Okay? This organic cane juice, when I smell it, I could smell the flavor of the cane, and this was nice and cold, and I told them I was not drinking it. They wanted to know why. I said, listen, and I smell it again, and I told them this was so beautiful, it was so organic. I'm not going to drink it. I'm going to bring it here, and I'm going to show off with it, and then take it to Black Village. So this is a part of giving back to the poor. This is a part of agricultural production, okay? And this is a part of a philosophy that Pinling taught us and promised us. Pinling said that there shall be self-sufficiency in agriculture by 1980. By grab, it's 45 years ago, I think, 44 years ago, since Pinling has promised us self-sufficiency in agriculture. And since Pinling has departed, we've seen 4 prime ministers. So, Hubert Ingram, Hubert Ingram did not give us self-sufficiency in agricultural production. Perry Christie didn't give us it. Minnis did not. So the question is, did Philip Brave Davis appointed a good minister in agriculture who will produce? Well, I have confidence in Jomo Campbell. He hails from Cat Island, and instinctively Jomo Campbell is supposed to know everything about agricultural production. So this is significant, and I yearn to see Jomo Campbell call on every citizen to plant in the back of their yard a pear seed, some sugar cane. I mean, it's powerful, eh? Isn't it wonderful what can be done even at the level of our homes? So my spiritual advisor, it's agricultural production and not corruption. So it was a great day on Gregory Stewart's farm, and I just love when the bishop was viewing the succulent pigs, and I wondered for a while, what all would the bishop cook? So starting Monday, Mrs. George will start taking the pig to the slaughterhouse. And apparently they have this method that when you take the pig to the slaughterhouse, you do not kill him immediately. You don't slaughter him immediately. You allow him to relax and get rid of all the stress. And then he is slaughtered, and nice meat is cut up. Do you love fresh pork?
Yeah, I mean, from time to time I do eat it, you know.
Okay.
But I like the pork chops and ribs, actually.
Well, listen to me. Show the spiritual advisor one of them
I like those
pig,
pork ribs.
so he can see some of them pork chop and some of those ribs.
Be careful now.
And
You may be offending some Seventh-day Adventists. So
my spiritual advisor, stay focused, eh?
you're offending Seventh-day Adventists.
These pigs are juicy.
They don't like pork.
Listen to me. They are very fertile because they have lots of piglet. It's a lot of piglet. It's great. And I think the time has come where we should develop our own animal husbandry. So I thought I'll tell that to you for what it is worth. Any comment, my spiritual advisor?
No, we can move on.
Well, in Exuma, I have been receiving some serious complaints. I've received some wonderful intelligence. But you know, I do have political instinct. I want the people of Exuma to know that I am studying the intelligence that they have sent to me. And then, as I study it, my instinct tells me that I should share that vital intelligence with the Member of Parliament for Great Exuma and the Deputy Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, I, Chester Cooper. I want to give Mr. Cooper an opportunity to see the intelligence that I have in my possession. After all, on my mother's side, we hail from the forest. So I'm a descendant of the forest. And the interest of Exuma is my interest. And Chester Cooper is the Member of Parliament for Great Exuma. I'm going to share the intelligence with him first. Then after he would have received it, then I'll share it with the public. I'm doing it because my political instinct tells me, you know something? On this one, share this with the Deputy Prime Minister and see how he deals with it. And then afterward, some of you need not be concerned. I will share it with members of the public. How does that sound, my special advisor?
Absolutely.
This is powerful. Powerful indeed. Yeah. Do you have anything on your mind you want to touch?
Do I? Well, we have a very short clip that confirms what you were talking about, the strike that's looming on the East Coast.
Go ahead.
Disrupt, some say even cripple nearly every part of our economy. At least 25,000 dock workers in 14 ports from Texas all the way to Massachusetts could walk off the job tonight. Negotiations between their union and the shipping industry have been stalled since back in June. A strike could affect nearly half of America's ports, leading to shortages of everyday items like pharmaceuticals, produce, fresh meat, cars, you name it, driving up prices across the board. J.P. Morgan Chase says that a dock strike could cost the American economy about $5 billion every day.
So, folks, you see how significant this is. Very significant. And then, of course, you would recall that under the Free National Movement, they've only given one set of people the right to have a dock. So here on the island of New Providence, there's only one dock. And I suggest that's very common. That's communism. There should not be one dock. There ought to be many docks. If you're talking about a free enterprise system, if you're talking about market forces, but the F&M and the Hubert Ingram give the dock to one Negro man and a bunch of Conky Joe people. So that is what is going on. So we run the risk of having food very, very high. So get ready and let's watch. Meanwhile, let's return to a time when Pinling and the PLP encouraged Bahamians to do backyard farming. And believe it or not, you'd be shocked to know what you can grow in the back of your property. I think it's powerful. Do you have any other thing you may want to share?
Well, let's get back here to some local news. I'm now seeing a clipping. I don't know the date of this, but it is posted in the Tribune. And it's criticizing a government school. C.V. Bethel apparently is infested with rats.
Rats?
Yeah. And so the teachers at C.V. Bethel School are grappling with the amount of classrooms that are infested with rats, and bathrooms as well. They say they're rodent infested, and of course the campus prompting the government to intervene after a list of complaints, according to the Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson. She told the Tribune yesterday that Some windows at the school had no operators, and while others could not be opened, worsening the classroom heat. So, looked like there's some issues. Mind you, I did understand that last week sometime, they did dismiss school, early, amidst the concerns that's going on at CB Bethel.
So the rat infestation is so badly.
It's bad, yeah.
That in the day, they're running up and down the classroom.
Because you would think that they would do that in the night when nobody's there.
But they're doing it in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's an easy solution to that. And Belinda, she knows exactly how to catch rat. I would think so. Belinda, have you not recommended that every class should do a project and bring to school a cat? I think that is a way we can teach our children the science of raising cats. Take, for instance, in Black Village, I have many, many cats. And my cats are very domestic. They all lived at my yard, and they're very, very fertile. They're very, very fertile. Every now and then I have to say to the cat, "Now, Kitty, that's your sister. I don't want you to like her. You could like the other cat." But outside of that, my cats are very fertile, and I have no rat. Plenty cats. So I think that each class could be done a project where they would raise a cat. And I promise that if they do, I'll send a truckload of sand, which can be, put in a container, and it would make a good toilet. So let's try that, okay? Sometimes you have to go back to the primitive methods. What is a primitive method? Cat. Okay? Let every class start with a cat. And then you will leave the cat in the classroom with food, water, and a bathroom, a toilet. And in the morning, little Johnny and little Mary would be responsible for cleaning up and feeding the cat. What do you think, my spiritual advisor? Is that a good suggestion?
No, other than that, what we should do is we should petition the Ministry of Education along with the Ministry of Environment to have some rat poison and some men who are experienced in extinguishing rats to go down to CB Bethel and deal with the problem.
Okay, so you think that's the way to do it?
Yeah, that's what needs to happen.
Okay, well, I want it to be more organic.
Yeah, but how real? How realistic is what you're saying? The approach that you have, how realistic is that?
Well, I live on a big piece of property in Black Village.
That's different.
And
you and your family live there.
And there is no rat.
But to bring cats into the environment.
My neighbor, their rats would dare not come into my property. My cat will kill them. I was only being organic, but I have no problem with your solution. You think rat poison?
Yeah,
we'll do it. Okay.
It's
so
an
let's
environmental problem.
Let's try what the spiritual advisors say. Put down poison. But if it doesn't work, taking into consideration that we are not educating our students to put their lunch bag in a bin. Many of our schools, if you walk along the field, the students drop everything in the yard. Everything in the yard. There's no real training, there's no real education, there's no real discipline. So if you are dumping food, if you're leaving food in the classroom, it will attract rodents. So perhaps they need a lesson in what, my spiritual advisor? Proper hygiene, proper management of garbage.
Waste, yeah.
And then, of course,
food.
Garbage needs to be moved
especially leftover food.
Yeah. But doesn't that school have a school board?
I'm sure it does.
Well, what are they doing?
Well, what needs to happen first?
Did they not remember that Hubert Ingram, by law, established school committees? What's going on? Huh? Or are there citizens who are in charge who are lazy?
But they got to get to the bottom of the problem. What's creating this rodent infestation?
I just told you.
You know? Yeah, well, that could be a part of it.
A part of it, if you were to visit many schools, students are throwing their lunch bags in the yard. Nobody's properly disposing of them. If you do that, it will attract rodents. It will attract stray animals. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the environment. God save the King. We'll be right back after the break. Hold on, everybody. It's powerful today. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. It's birthday time, Bradley.
Yes, let's do a couple birthdays. We got a couple birthdays today, and of course we got a special announcement coming from the 'KS Foundation. Let's see, what do we have here? Elizabeth Taylor. Yes, Elizabeth Taylor is celebrating the birthday. Happy birthday to the big sister Elizabeth Taylor, aka Liz, or Big Mama. From your sisters Lisa, Cora, Monica, and Francine, your brothers Whitney, Jeffrey, Warren, and Darren, your children Reno, Rico, Tiffany, and Trey, your grandkids, your many nieces and nephews, and all who love you. Enjoy your birthday. She is also one of the women them.
This is powerful. Happy birthday, my dear.
And they're saying she is Rodney's biggest fan. Wow.
Wow. God bless you. Thank you.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Shianda Maycock is celebrating a birthday. A strong, blessed birthday to Principal Shianda Maycock from your husband and children. We love you for being an amazing, loving, compassionate, joyful woman, good wife, good mother, and of course, a good human being. Happy birthday to Shianda Maycock. Malva Davis is celebrating a birthday. Happy belated birthday to Malva Davis. It's coming from her children, Malik and Makala. Her mother, Melvise Davis, her sisters and brothers, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, and friends, and they all love you. God bless you. Happy belated birthday to Malva Davis. Miss Florida Raman, happy birthday to our queen, Miss Flora Raman, who is 85 years old today. Greetings is coming from her children, Daphne Clifford, Teresa, Denise, Drexel, and Albert. Grands, Davy, Gary, Therese, Renee, Triana. Producer, Drench, is that Drencher? Huh? Terenza?
Teresa.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And Davina, in-laws, David, Bernard, and Cyan, all the rest of your loving family. We love you and appreciate you. God bless you today and always. Glenda Roca, happy birthday to Glenda Roca from International Chris and the entire family at Trudy's Bar, grilled fish fry, especially all the customers. Happy birthday, Glenda Roca. We want to send a fourth birthday shout out to Marinique Roberts. It's coming in from her mom, Vestronique, her nana, Inez, her papa, Leroy Miller, and all those who love her. Enjoy your day. And we want to send condolences at this time to the staff of the Emergency Medical Services who lost a staff member, that's Crystal Jones, on Saturday past. So condolences to the EMS who lost a staff member, that's Crystal Jones, on Saturday past. Let's see. Did I send it to you? Yes. Island Luck customers and employees will be able to take advantage of free breast cancer testing in New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Eleuthera beginning Tuesday, October the 1st, in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Island Luck's Chief Operating Officer, Adriana Fox, made the announcement at a press conference on Monday at the headquarters. Island Luck, through its corporate social responsibility arm, IL Cares, remains steadfast in its mission to raise awareness and provide critical support to fight against breast cancer, Fox said. The IL Cares Foundation will partner with Bahamas Wellness in Lutro, Girl Con organization based in Grand Bahama, and Fort Terrace Diagnostic Center based in the capital to offer breast examination to Island Luck's employees and customers. Bahamas Wellness Representative Dr. Charles Seeley praised the initiative, which he said will go a long way towards assisting in the fight against breast cancer, particularly in Eleuthera. His sentiments were echoed by GirlCon organization founder Catherine Smith. While women aged 35 and older are usually encouraged to take the test, Fort Terrace Diagnostic Center Representative Simon Davil encouraged women under the age to get tested. So that's a special announcement coming from Island Luck Chief Operating Officer Adriana Fox. All right. What do you have, Sandra?
Well, I join you in encouraging women everywhere to take advantage of this wonderful opportunity, because here in the Bahamas, if you were to examine the history, you would recall that they had done a series of investigation, a series of experimentation. You remember? I hardly hear anybody talk about how they found a unique gene that they appear to have found in each and every Bahamian woman, no matter whether or not she was a Negro person or Conky Joe, which suggested, if I recall, this is based on my memory, so please forgive me if you discover that your information contradicts mine. But it would appear that the scientific argument was that the Negro women and the Conky Joe women, notwithstanding color difference, had the same DNA that caused a particular kind of cancer. So that was very interesting. And then over the ages, they seem to have dropped it because there has been one or two non-scientists, you see, non-educated people who were challenging the validity of that scientific evidence.
And what's that?
Which is they were suspicious that it was not true.
No.
But
and what you think causes a special gene?
well, I don't know if, for instance, we are discovering, if I go back to what I remember, that the Bahamian woman, they all shared a common gene that caused a specific kind of breast cancer, right? They were suggesting that they were all related. Let us not forget that in the central Bahamas, all of these people are related.
And when you say central, you mean like Eleuthera,
Yes.
Long Island,
Bimini,
Bimini,
yeah,
New
New
Providence,
Providence,
Andros.
Harbor Island,
Okay.
right? And so you find that there has been a lot of interbreeding. I can give you an example of what I'm talking about, where an example would be that your grandmother's first cousin, grandson, is now mating with your niece. And they all are saying, me and her ain't close. It's like a man who lives at the top of the Fort Hill, and when his mother introduced him to his second cousin, he told his mother, she's nothing to me. I want her. And all his mother told him, you can't have her. She's your second cousin. Her ma and me is first cousin. He said, Mommy, she ain't nothing to me.
Oh, gee.
You heard me?
Cousin make dozen.
And his mother didn't know what to do with him. Only me knew what to do with him. But I never told his mother because he didn't mess around. So it's that kind of genetic mutation where we are interbreeding. And the time has come for us to outlaw interbreeding. The time has come for us that once we can determine blood relative, we make it illegal. You can't like your first cousin. Well, the law prohibits that. Your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, your sixth, right up to your 20th cousin. All right?
That may be a bit too far.
That's not too far.
20th cousin.
Yeah. But these young
that's a bit too
people,
far.
they're too sexy. They want play family. And that is why every time new blood comes into the country, I celebrate. Okay? New blood. I met a girl whose father told me that she was getting married. And I was so curious that he was getting married. So I said, who is she marrying to? He said, Francois. I said, Francois? He said, yes. I said, well, you have my approval. He said, Monica, why? I said, that's Haitian. You ain't family to know Haitian. Okay? So I'm satisfied nothing is going to go wrong with their offspring, because Francois comes from the mountains of Haiti, and there should be no genetic imbalances. And that is why every now and then when the men go to Cuba and they bring in some Cuba women, I'm not upset. I'm only upset if they married and they bring in some Cuban women. But when the single men go in and import new women, new genetics, it's powerful. And that is one of the ways you can fight breast cancer. That is anecdotal. I'm no scientist. Don't listen to me. Okay? But having said that to you, the weekend was kind of terrible for me. My wife became ill suddenly.
Sorry to hear that.
In the wee hours of the morning.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I thought I would lose her. And it became frantic and a rush to get her dressed and to rush her to the government's hospital. Well, praise the Lord, I did get her to the Princess Margaret Hospital. I was able, notwithstanding that I have a bad foot, to leave her in the front area of the hospital, run to accidents and emergency, get a wheelchair, and tell them what I thought was happening. They give me a wheelchair, and as I run, they run behind me. So I was able to get her into accidents and emergency. Accidents emergency had hundreds of people. It was chaotic. And then there were one or two young men who seems to have had some issues. So they rowed, they carried on. It was horrible. And then, of course, when I asked, when will my wife see a doctor? Because I really didn't want her to die. They said to me, at 3 a.m. in the morning, she's going to need to wait for 16 hours. So I said, well, okay, 16 hours. And then I said to the man, that which I perceive is happening, is that happening? He said, no. I said, okay. So she was carted to the back of accidents and emergency, where there were many, many people, male and female. So there was no privacy. She could not change the clothes that she was wearing. So I called then on the females in my mother's family to go and see to what extent they might be able to crowd her and bathe her and dress her. They said it was impossible. Everybody who was sick was in one open space. So I said to them, okay, don't bathe. So I can't wait for the government to build a brand new hospital, because accident and emergency was one mess. Anyway, I do hope that my wife survived. It was tragic. I then thought about, should I try to get her to doctor's hospital? But I couldn't afford doctor's hospital. If I understood it clearly, they needed at least $10,000. So I understand. So I said, you know something? Let me keep her right here at the government hospital. I've heard rumors, because I refused to go back. So I've asked females in my family to go. I thank God that they have. So I'm hearing rumors that they may have been successful in finding a room, maybe a bed or a ward, but there are hundreds of people, I hope I'm not exaggerating it, who finds themselves in the same condition that my wife found herself in. And that is why I'm happy to support the government's initiative in constructing these two major hospitals. So it's been very tragic, very emotional.
The travesty, though, is that Medicare is just so expensive.
So I went home, and in my quiet moment, I sang myself a little song. Oh, my wife, my precious wife. Oh, Lord, spare my wife. And then I went to sleep. So, it's life. So let us join forces and help the government and encourage the government to build us a brand new hospital. For the poor, Jesus said, will always be with us.
You got that right.
So it is my hope and prayer. I remain calm. I made no demand. I said nothing. But I do hope that they have found a bed for my wife. And I do hope that they find a bed for the many other poor people. And as they struggle to find a bed for my wife, I thought about how there was a point when the Princess Margaret Hospital had all kind of rooms. But Dr. Minnis somehow was able to grab hold. And I don't know, maybe Hubert Ingram allowed him to do it. So they privatized the hospital. The People's Hospital is privatized. So the poor ain't got no space unless you can find money. Meanwhile, men, women, young people, everybody's in one big open space, not a curtain to give you some privacy. Anyway, one day, better will come. And it is my hope and prayer that the better that will come will be done under the PLP. So I ask good friends everywhere to pray for the poor, to pray for the sick, to pray for everybody. But please say a prayer for my darling wife, Gina. It's powerful. Okay, my spiritual advisor, what time is it now?
Well, we're headed towards the 5:30 mark.
Do you have any other topics
Yeah,
you
but you know,
want to choose? Because we got another
10 minutes, basically.
Yeah.
But you know, Sandra, the reality is Medicare is just so expensive, not only in Bahamas, but, you know, other countries, you know, there has to be a way to drive down the cost of Medicare. Because basically, I mean, when you look at it, the best Medicare, and there are times when you really need it, only those who have either insurance or money can afford it. So it's out of the reach of the average or poor man. So something has to be done to bridge the gap for Medicare for the person who's poor and really needs it. I hope they can find a solution. And I think that was one of the reasons why, NHI had come into, to try.
But
I don't know how it's working or if it is
well,
working.
one of the problems has been that
know.
when Christie introduced it, we had people like Dr. Robin Roberts, who sabotaged it.
Really?
Yeah. I think in 2006, he met me on the taxi line. He pulled me off the taxi line to tell me why Christie was wrong on introducing national health insurance. Now Dr. Robin Roberts will not give medical assistance at a reduced price, but he told me at Lyndon Pindling International Airport why Perry Christie was wrong to introduce national health insurance. So my wife got check-in at 3 a.m. Saturday, and they told her she won't be able to see no doctor until 8 p.m. So I said to my wife, they say, you can't see no doctor until 8 p.m. She said, don't create no trouble, eh? I'll wait for them. And so I didn't create any trouble. I quietly left. But among the health professionals who have us in this mess, whether or not you believe it or not, is Dr. Robin Roberts, the brother of the late Bradley Roberts, who in his opposition to Christie and the PLP didn't look at the benefit for the poor. He was more concerned about the millions of dollars the doctors could make. Well, perhaps you can't blame him. Maybe you can't blame him, but he contributed because he should have rise above it and look at the well-being of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Anyway, one day, better will come. That is my hope and prayer. Yeah. Okay, so
Was there a murder on the weekend?
Yeah, there was a Negro man who was found shot 7 a.m. through Kennedy subdivision.
Oh, okay.
Police heard news. They went to a building. They went upstairs. It was unfinished. They had plenty gunshot wounds. Police say he is known to them, whatever that means.
His name is in the system.
Whatever that meant, he was known to the police. He was murdered. Known to the police means that he must have been a citizen of poor character. Okay?
So he may have been in trouble with the law before. That's what known to the police mean, right?
Well,
you
let me put it this way.
history with them?
I'm going to say perhaps a person of poor character.
Okay.
Yeah. But it may also mean what you have suggested. Okay? So that's what it is. There are many senior citizens who are complaining over taxes, real property taxes. I call on members of parliament not to ignore the complaints of senior citizens who are very stressful. I have a senior man who's complaining over the fact that his house was burned down, and therefore a store or a shop that he once owned, he had to close it down and move into it someplace along Robertson Road. Anyway, members of parliament, please listen to the complaints of your senior constituents and tell the government all people must be exempt from real property tax. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save senior citizens everywhere. God save the King. I'll be right back after the break. Hold on, everybody. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. When we took the adjournment, Bradley Rule is my spiritual advisor. I had quite a number of people who called me off air to explain to me the definition known to the police or known by the police. So it's very interesting. One citizen, he was upset. He felt that the police should not be saying that the victim is known to the police since killing anyone is against the law. And then, of course, I had another outstanding citizen who explained that when the police say that a person is known to them, it means it's a person who the police has encountered a lot with in terms of some illegal activities that victim has been involved in during his lifetime. So he can be a murderer, an accused murderer, perhaps a convicted person of manslaughter, somebody who might have been a thief, an armed robber, a rapist, someone who's not committed to being law-abiding. So let's tell our sons and nephews and daughters that when they meet the police, it must be under good circumstances, so that the police will now develop a new phrase and say, it's a good citizen who's known to the police. My spiritual advisor, do you owe any bills?
Yes, let's pay these bills quickly. Looking for a quick getaway, fly Western Air with daily flights from Freeport to Fort Lauderdale, starting at just $290 round trip, including 40 pounds of check bags. Book your next adventure now at westernairbahamas.com. Everybody needs money always, so send money internationally and locally through Western Union with Money Max. Download the Money Max app today to send cash instantly to a family member or friend anytime and anywhere. Sending money has never been simpler. The app is available on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. Money Max. Live your max life.
This is powerful. Well, this is the time. I'm going to turn the show over to the spiritual advisor. Bradley?
Well, we're going to open the lines, actually, to get some commentary from the public. The lines will open up. And we understand, though, that over the weekend, that a lot of people experience power outages. We understand it's getting worse. And a lot of people are still complaining about high electricity bills. So we're going to open the lines so you can call us and you can talk to us, engage us. The numbers are 323-7775, 698-0775, and 698-0776. So call us if you want to, and we can talk. The lines are open. And please don't forget, when you call the show, to turn your radios and televisions down, please. Turn them down. And just listen to Mrs. Monica or me in regards to whatever it is you want to talk about, okay? The lines are open, 323-7775, 698-0775, and 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live. Hello, call you there?
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm calling to congratulate the nurses at the male surgical tree at Princess Margaret Hospital. They did a wonderful job, the doctors and the nurses, especially Nurse Gordon. They were wonderful people. I mean, they did a wonderful job. And Mr. Bunker,
Sir?
you said about Mr. Robbins, who it was also Mr. Millis who was a part of that, and with the FNM, it told who knocked down the National Health Insurance.
That is true.
So Dr. Millis was a part of it, and also Papa, he was the great leader of that. So I will call to straighten it out.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take care now. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Hello, call, are you there?
There's another Sacramento authority here. But a family member lost a prayer text on Friday When I get called, go to after 8.
All right, call back. Your call is dipping in and out. I don't know if you're on a cell phone or whatever it is. So call us back. Welcome.
You can hear me now?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. And up to 5:30 Saturday, 5:30 p.m., we have to take the patient and find money and carry him to Oak Tree. If you don't have no money, Mr. Monk, in this country, you will die. The family can't come and assist you. When I saw Princess Margaret Hospital, I called on Dr. Tower to do something, please. They asked an emergency. It's like a slaughterhouse in the back there. Everybody on the gurney, they say there was only one doctor on, one surgical doctor on from 16, 18 hours.
Wow.
I call on doctor, if we got to bring some nurses and doctors from the foreign Philippines, they ever bring them in, please. We need help with the medical team in this country. People are suffering, people are dying. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
caller. Take care. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Spiritual advisor.
Good
I hope you're
afternoon.
doing well. You don't look too well on this TV.
Yeah.
Pray God that God will strengthen you.
Absolutely.
You're a true soldier of the Lord.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My brother there, he died. He's wearing that all red. He look like an F&M. He finally find the colors of the F&M. But I want to say that a lot of people have been attacking the police for the wrong reason. Remove the police out of the society, and the criminals will reap harvest on us. We must remember that these police officers come out of the homes of mothers and fathers, decent mothers and fathers. They are not perfect, but we need them, and we must pray for them. And we must respect them, because we know that some of our people are only hypocrites, you know. The minute the police shoot some of their family, you hear all them on the news. But the minute a police officer gets shot, you hear nothing. Everybody goes quiet. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. 323-7775, 698-0775, and 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Caller. You're live.
Yeah, good afternoon, bro.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Monka.
Sir,
Mr. Monka, first of all, let me say to all the suffering and dying, may God mercy be upon them all.
thank you.
Mr. Monka, I hope your wife is okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Monka, let me ask you a question. If a person is sick and they go to the hospital, can the hospital turn the sick person away?
If they can turn them away,
Yes, sir.
that all depends on circumstances. Normally that doesn't happen, but it must be a very unique circumstances that might cause the hospital to do so.
Yeah, because Mr. Monka, if my wife is sick and the Princess Margaret Hospital is private, I take it as the doctor's hospital. Now they got to give me reason why I'm turning away. Now we got to deal with the financial part of afterwards.
You're talking about Doctor's Hospital?
Yes, sir.
I have a neighbor from Big Pond, and the daughter got her finger chopped off, and they rush her to Doctor's Hospital, and Doctor's Hospital asked for X amount of money, and the family said, this is Sunday, we can't find the money. So Doctor's Hospital refused to treat the little Negro girl. They offer land paper. I know about what I'm talking. Nobody can contradict me. And then they didn't. They said the most we could do is put bandage on it and send it over to the Princess Margaret. When they arrive at the Princess Margaret Hospital, the doctor they saw at the Princess Margaret Hospital told the family, oh, it's Yole. The Doctor's Hospital asked me to hurry come over there to save the little girl. And the girl is the niece of a leading F&M activist who had threatened violence at Doctor's Hospital.
Yeah, two more things, Mr. Monka. In the Bahamas, we need to stop letting these policymakers make decisions for us. We need to start standing up and telling them what we want, not just let them do what they want.
But Doctor's Hospital is private.
One more thing, Mr. Monka.
It's private.
Yes, sir. One more thing, Mr. Monka. Seems like you work for Sabah, so ask them to insure you also. You could have coverage for you and your wife, man, so you can take it anywhere.
Thank you for the suggestion. As soon
Yeah,
as I
man,
see him, thank you.
they can afford it.
Well, Sebas is allowing the staff to go and have check for breast cancer. And when the spiritual advisor read it, I asked the spiritual advisor if that includes males.
No.
And he told
Yeah,
me, just hear me out for a second.
He's a very nice person. Just ask him to do like guarantee you do, because he's a very nice person.
Yeah, well, I want him not only to have women breasts checked for cancer. In more recent time,
okay.
I'm having men who are having breast cancer. And so I am studying why is men having breast cancer. But I got your point. I thank you for your suggestion.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So the men who having breast cancer, you think their wife they smoke?
Well, I do know that men are having breast cancer, and since we're living in a society that teaches gender equality, it is unfair for the women to have their breasts done and the men's breasts are not done.
Yeah.
And so I would want IL Care to tell men, because there's some men who got some big fat breasts because they eat too much fatty food. I think everybody's breasts should be tested. It's only me, and I'm not a doctor.
Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Advisor,
Yes, sir.
man, I hope you feel better. And Brother Monica,
So,
give my family my regards and let her know that we're all praying for her.
I thank you for your kindness.
Yes, sir. But spiritual advisor, you say something just now when Brother Monica started talking with man with breast cancer, and same thing I was thinking you say just now, because you know you always put his family there. But listen to me, I really want to invite the people of Bamboo Town out tonight to our regular branch meeting. I want them to come out at the CV battle. We're going to have the lady ASP Straps, who is in charge of our new urban renewal, is speaking tonight. Brother Monica, I'd like for you to come out tonight too, please, if you can.
I don't think I can, but while you were there, I want you to count to see if there are any rats and call me tomorrow.
Well, what I going to do, a spiritual advisor said something. I got to see if I can get the member of parliament to sponsor them couple bag of rat poison.
That's powerful.
Or go right on Fountain Road there. They got all kind of rat poison on them, man.
The Department of Environmental Health.
Yeah, that woman, she's driving the BUT car.
I think
the teachers union car, she can pull that up with rat poison and get it around CV Bell.
I agree.
Yeah, man. That's good people. But listen, I want the people of Bamboo Town come out tonight and let's hear what's going to be happening with our newly our newly reformed urban renewal office.
What time is this meeting scheduled
7.
for?
Start at 7.
7 p.m.?
Yes.
Will there be refreshments?
All kind.
Okay.
Now you know how Bamboo Town go. We just go big. I need you to bring spiritual advisor with you tonight, man.
I can't make a commitment to come, but the spiritual advisor, he
have to pass to get home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So all you got to do is hang around by each church and Vinewood Garden.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
If you're going to invite him, do it privately because he's playing F&M.
I'm not interested in that.
You hear what you say, playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, be playing.
I'm not interested in that.
You're not interested in the meeting?
No. I have some other things pressing I have to deal with. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you was... Okay, then.
All right.
Okay, no problem.
You take care of yourself, man.
But next time, God bless you.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Turn your radios down, please. Caller, you there? Turn your radio down, please. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello. Good day.
Good day.
Brother Bradley.
Yes, sir.
And off topic a little bit. I need to find out where Honeycomb Street is.
Honeycomb Street. Just off East Street somewhere, is it?
I have no idea. That's why I calling you, because I hear Brother Gino Jenkins coming there November 1st through the 3rd.
Honeycomb Street. I think it has to be from my recollection. I've seen it someplace off East Street, eh?
I need to find that out, man. I need to
What's
find that out.
Marcus?
Who is Brother Jenkins?
Gino Jenkins.
Gino Jennings, man.
Who's that?
That's that radical preacher from the United States, man.
Well, I ain't gonna tell you where Honeycomb is, because I want you to miss that meeting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You can't do that.
Just Google it.
I just did that.
Brother Monta, you can't do that.
I told you I don't want you to go to the meeting, so I'm not going to tell you where Honeycomb is.
Where it is, man?
It's a place where you can buck your big toe. Take it, Kim.
Yeah, Gino Jennings is not nice at all,
Yeah.
to say the least. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Yeah, good afternoon, spiritual wife, Monica.
Sir, so how are you?
Listen, it was someone else and myself mentioned to you all about at least 3 months ago about a traffic light sign on the ground and the turning lane isn't on the light. Do you know that getting dangerous day by day? I have to go that way.
Where is it?
Where is it?
At the junction at Blue Hill and Prince Will School.
Oh.
I have to pass that way all the time to go to my church. That's the reason why I recognize it. And I almost was in an accident there.
So
And not only me, other people.
When you
And
are...
you know what can happen? Between the people who concerned and who passing the information on, they're not going to stop until someone get a serious accident, and then they can correct it.
So let me be clear on the problem. So there is a red light at the junction of Cowpen Road and Blue Hill. Am I correct?
Yes.
So you are heading south and you're turning west. What is the problem?
No, you are heading west. You are heading west, and they have a turning lane to turn right.
To go north.
Right to go north.
And what is the
Okay.
problem?
But they have the turning lane on the road, but there's no turning lane on the light.
Oh.
Ah, okay, I got you.
You see what I mean?
Oh,
I got you.
Okay.
And I made this complaint to your show.
Okay, I want to make a
Before,
suggestion to you.
I mean, because I believe in you because you all to spread the news.
I want to make a suggestion to you.
Yeah.
Tonight at CB Bethel, there's going to be a political meeting. Why don't you go there and draw it to the speaker so that she could then talk to somebody in the Ministry of Works? It would be a wonderful project. CB
Yeah, okay.
7:30 this evening. Then call us.
I'll try to go there.
Call us tomorrow and tell us what was your reception.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, take your call. Okay. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live. Your phone, caller. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. You're live, caller.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm just calling to inquire about political services. I'm not good. This is my first time, but first of all, let me just let Mr. Martin know that we all have something for him and his wife and Pedro with her, unlike my spiritual advice for your situation.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, other than that, my point would be, went to the place this morning, and after last time I was there, I went there in July to give me a trip all through it. I have nothing to eat. I am hungry, and I went there. You know, there's so many people there in that place.
What constituency do you live in? What constituency do you live in?
I'm in Nassau Village.
Oh, Nassau Village. Okay.
You're Nassau. There is no urban renewal center in Nassau Village?
No, sir.
Yeah, man. There has to be one in Nassau Village.
No, sir. I went to see the man in charge for Nassau Village for the time.
Do me a favor. Listen to me for a second. I don't recall the street, but to the best of my knowledge, the police has an urban renewal center in Nassau Village. Please ask people, hear me out, please ask people, go to the police urban renewal center, ask them for assistance, call me back tomorrow, And when you're coming back tomorrow, make sure you need a better telephone than what you're speaking on, because we are struggling to understand what you say.
Yeah.
I understand. I see.
And check it. Okay? Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. All
All
right.
right, ready? Welcome to Freedom House Call. You're live. All right, we lost that call. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom House Call. You're live.
Yes, a pleasant good afternoon, Brother Monica.
Sir.
A pleasant good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm calling to complain about my water bill, man. I live in the south, and my water bill was down to $389, and when I got it this month, it was $946.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Yes.
58, sir.
Okay. Are you aware that as a 68-year-old citizen, you can apply to water and sewage for an old person exemption?
But I'm not old.
You're 68.
No, I'm not. I'm 58.
Oh, you're 58.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, is there a leak in your house?
There isn't a leak at all.
Have you
And
checked?
I've seen,
Have you checked?
yes, and I've seen water and sewage digging up in the front of my place, digging up by the neighbors, and yet still the same thing. The bill is $940.
Is it possible that they have dug behind your meter?
Peter?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't run a hotel or such, you know.
Or perhaps in the front.
Right.
Why don't you go to the Water and Sewage Corporation, ask for the general manager, tell him what the problem is, and ask him if he can have one of their experts come to your house and examine. Because there are times, depending on the age of your house, there can be interior leaks and you're not aware of it.
Or check your toilets. Make sure that the flap is down properly and water isn't escaping.
Yeah, because that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
From 389 to 900.
Go and speak to them, because they do investigation, and from time to time they have discovered that there are citizens who have leaks and they're not aware of it. And if you've got a plumber who can certify that you have had a leak, they tend to give you a real good reduction.
Okay, then, no problem.
Why don't do that and let me know what happened?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775.
Yeah,
Welcome to Freedom House Call. You're live.
Mr. Monica,
My love,
I just want, could I? Hello?
go ahead, speak. Cut off your radio so you don't be distracted. Talk to us.
I want to go to the hospital and go to the door that you make appointment to that door.
You're breaking up. I'm having difficulty understanding clearly. I know you want to make an appointment to do what?
No, I had an appointment form now, and
Yeah.
I get a date.
You have an appointment to do what? Your eye?
No?
What?
To see a doctor.
You're breaking up. I'm having difficulty understanding your last words.
I said I put in an appointment 4 months ago
Yes?
to see a surgical doctor,
Yes?
and up now I can't get the appointment.
Really? So who is the surgical doctor that you should have seen? Okay. Perhaps I should not have asked her that question. Listen, I need the poor to be given an appointment. Who are these surgical doctors? We need to give the poor an appointment. It's powerful. If there are any of the women them working in a sensitive area of the Princess Margaret Hospital who can give people an appointment, call me secretly so I can pass the word on, and that would be powerful. Go ahead, Mr. Spiritual Advisor.
No, we only got a minute, so.
A minute?
Yeah, we're at the end of the show.
Okay. Well,
Basically.
folks, we are coming to the end of our show. So once again, we thank members of the public who is and who has continued to join us. And we want you to be safe, okay? And those of you who have social issues, you may continue to call and raise the question, and we shall do everything within our powers to provide you with the best answers. So, as bad as you think today is, better will come, better must come. And once again, the campaign in the United States is still going on. Donald Trump is our man, and he's leading. No matter what you hear, Donald Trump is the man. It's powerful, okay? Do well, everybody. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save people everywhere. God save the King. Be safe. Do well. Goodbye.